Hello friends, welcome to Clinical Grand Rounds in Pulmonary Medicine, and today we will see our second case. I hope you have enjoyed in case 1. So I am going to make this video in Hindi and English both languages so it can reach to maximum people. So if you like this type of series or this type of case discussion, please write in comment box. I'll make more cases based on this pattern. So let's see our second case today. So she is 35-year-old female. She is presented with right side chest pain, shortness of breath for 1 month, dry cough for 15 days, and she was having some low grade fever or mild fever, but it was not documented. So we have labeled as no fever. Okay. No loss of weight, no loss of appetite. So as you know that our first investigation is chest x-ray, which is very basic. Okay. So this is the chest x-ray of this patient. This is 35-year-old female. So in this x-ray, if you see carefully, there is whole opacity of right hemithorax. Right hemithorax is opaque, completely opaque. Mediastinal shift is there towards left side. So there is right side pleural effusion which causing mediastinal shift to left side. Okay. If you see carefully, left side, you can appreciate there is small opacities in left side also. Right? So this is a young lady with right side massive pleural effusion, with left side some opacities, some infiltrates. So in this patient, in young patient, our first differential diagnosis is tuberculosis, right? So how to approach this patient, what to do next? So will you do CT scan thorax? Will you do pleural aspiration for this patient? Will you insert ICD or any other test you would like to do? This is commonly question asked by examiner. Okay. So will you do CT scan thorax? I say no. Why no? Because patient is having massive right side pleural effusion and left side we are not able to appreciate because of mediastinal shift. So very little exposure on left side and right side completely opaque. So if you do CT scan on this stage, you will not see any lung parenchyma on especially right side. So I would like not to do CT scan. Second is pleural aspiration. Yes, because patient is having breathlessness, patient is having dyspnea. For diagnostic purpose and for relief of symptoms, we have to do pleural aspiration, therapeutic as well as diagnostic. ICD insertion, no. As of now, we have to do pleural aspiration only. Any other test, if you think any other test is required at this point of time, please write in comment box. So if you write in comment box, I'll also learn from you. Okay. So we did pleural aspiration. So we have removed around 1000 ml of straw color fluid. Please note down straw color fluid, which is suggestive of tuberculosis, which is not suggestive, favor of tuberculosis. Protein is 4.2, ADA is low, ADA is 15, low ADA, right? Lymphocytosis 80%, gene expert negative, and malignancy is also negative. So in this young lady, 35-year-old female with right side massive pleural effusion, with left side some infiltrates, pleural effusion which is exudative, straw color, low ADA, lymphocytosis. So what differential diagnosis you will think of? And if you see X-ray clearly, now you can see X-ray very clearly. So you can appreciate there are little opacities on left side. You can see nodular opacities. And if you see carefully, you can appreciate in right side also. Okay. So now what is the differential diagnosis? So young person with massive pleural effusion with straw color, lymphocytosis, all these things. So two differential diagnoses. One is tuberculosis, another is malignancy. There are two differential diagnoses, malignancy and tuberculosis. Then how to proceed further? Okay. So what to do next? Will you do CT scan at this point of time? Yes, we can do. We can do, but again, CT scan is not going to give full picture because again right side have moderate to large pleural effusion, and CT scan is going to give parenchymal and pleural pathology, suggestion only, but it's not going to give definitive diagnosis. So in this patient, we didn't do CT scan at this point of time. Okay, ICD insertion, no. At this point of time, we didn't do any ICD insertion. ATT, this is common practice in India. If somebody is coming with pleural effusion, any opacity in lung, people are giving anti-tuberculous therapy, which is very wrong practice. So as a clinician, as a pulmonologist, you have to investigate this patient because our differential diagnosis malignancy also. So don't give ATT. PET scan, PET scan at this point of time is not needed because PET scan is going to give your radiological evidence only. It's not going to give definitive diagnosis. For definitive diagnosis, we need some tissue. So bronchoscopy, we can do bronchoscopy to take bowel sample for diagnosis of tuberculosis. Okay, thoracoscopy, yes, we have to do thoracoscopy for pleural biopsy because biopsy only will give definitive diagnosis whether this is tuberculosis, whether this is malignancy. Okay, so you can do bronchoscopy and thoracoscopy at a same sitting, or you can do one by one. But at this point of time, we didn't do bronchoscopy because we have to manage pleural effusion. We did thoracoscopy. Advantage of doing thoracoscopy is that anyhow we have to drain this pleural effusion. We have to insert chest tube. So do thoracoscopy, then insert chest tube. So it will give diagnosis and it will help in therapeutic management also. Second thing is that by thoracoscopy we can take pleural biopsy, and by pleural biopsy we can confirm whether this is tuberculosis or this is malignancy. So we did thoracoscopy in this patient, and this is the thoracoscopic picture. So in first image you can appreciate there is pleural thickening, and you can see there's pleural nodules also. Can you appreciate? In second image you can see there's pleural based mass. Okay, so in this young lady with massive pleural effusion, with low ADA, with this thoracoscopy picture, now diagnosis is malignancy. Though it is not confirmed, but our high suspicious is malignancy, not tuberculosis. So remember, as I told you in last class also, once you take sample from any biopsy, you have to send one sample for microbiology, for gene expert and MGIT culture, because in India, TB is the most common pathology in our pulmonary medicine. Second sample for histopathology for diagnosis. So we have taken two sample, one sample for microbiology which is to be sent in normal saline, another is for histopathology which has to be sent in formalin container. Okay, so this is post thoracoscopy picture. In this x-ray, if you see carefully, you can appreciate there is some opacity in right upper paratracheal region. Okay, so this is trachea, and you can appreciate this is the some homogeneous opacity. Okay, another thing is now lung has expanded little bit more. So you can appreciate there are small nodules in left side. Can you appreciate nodules, small nodules? And if you see carefully collapsed lung, you can appreciate some nodules here also. Okay. Since this X-ray is taken immediately after thoracoscopy, so you can see hydropneumothorax because this is taken immediately after thoracoscopy. So hydropneumothorax, and you can see this is chest tube. Okay, so now you have suspicious of mass here, nodules on both sides. Now my question to you is whether CT scan required or not. Yes, definitely. Now you can go for CT scan because now your lungs has been expanded a little more, and now you can appreciate opacities in CT scan thorax. So ideal CT scan thorax is contrast enhanced CT scan thorax, like that is CECT thorax. So this is the CT scan thorax, and you can see the opacity which were you seen seeing in X-ray. It is there in CT scan also. So this is lung mass. You can see there is pleural thickening. Okay. If you see parenchymal window, in parenchymal window you can appreciate there are multiple nodules, that is randomly distributed nodule with varying size is the present in both side of lung parenchyma. So you can see upper lobe also nodules, middle zone also nodules, and lower lobe also nodules. And you can appreciate there is chest tube. You can appreciate another mass lesion in right middle lobe. So this is clear CT scan. Okay, in CT scan you can see this mass, a lot of randomly distributed nodule with chest tube. Okay, so up to now we can almost very sure that this patient is case of malignancy with bilateral metastatic nodules, because these nodules are suggestive of metastasis. Okay, now this is our histopathology report. So in histopathology, pathologist reported as adenocarcinoma metastatic. Okay, metastatic adenocarcinoma. Now question arises, this is metastasis, where is the primary? Okay, so for primary we have to do immunohistochemistry, ISC. We have to ask pathologist to do ISC in same sample which were sent earlier. Okay, so ISC there is TTA1 positive and CK7 positive. So this is suggestive of lung malignancy only. So what is the final diagnosis? This is metastatic adenocarcinoma with primary bronchogenic carcinoma or primary lungs. Okay, now what to do next? Now you have young lady with adenocarcinoma, that too is metastasis with chest tube in situ. Now what to do? Okay, so you have to do staging of this patient. Okay, for management we know that we have to do staging. Okay, so whether you require PET scan or not. Okay, so in my opinion PET scan is not required. Why? Because there is pleural effusion and bilateral metastasis. So this is already stage 4. So PET scan is not going to give any extra information for management of this patient. For prognosis purpose we can do PET scan. For management purpose in developing country, PET scan is not required at this point of time. This is already stage 4 disease. Okay, so if you see this chart, I already discussed in class 1 TNM 9th edition. So if you find any pleural effusion, automatically it come in as M1 stage. So M1 means stage 4A, right? So now you have young lady with stage 4 lung malignancy. How to manage? So as I told you in last class also, if you find adenocarcinoma, then you have to send sample for molecular test like EGFR and ALK. Okay. If this is positive, then you can think of receptor therapy like Jeftinib, Olalotinib, Osimertinib and Crizotinib. Depends on what you are getting in your EGFR and ALK report. Okay. Unfortunately, EGFR and ALK were negative in this patient. Okay. Second thing is patient is having ICD in situ in his right thoracic cavity, and if you see CT scan, lung is almost expanded fully, effusion almost gone, all drained. There is no pneumothorax. Okay, daily drain is less than 50 ml. Okay, so what will you do? Will you do fluidasis? Yes, we have to do fluidasis. So remember, when you find metastatic pleural effusion, try to do fluidasis for recurrence purpose or for collection of pleural fluid. So we did fluidasis by 10% providone iodine in this patient. Okay. So final management, since EGFR and that ALK is negative, so we only left with chemotherapy. So what is the final diagnosis? This is young lady of 35-year-old male, female diagnosis, right side massive pleural effusion, etiology adenocarcinoma lung with pulmonary metastasis, stage 4 with EGFR status negative. As I told you, stage 4 treatment is no surgery, no radiation, only is chemotherapy. Chemotherapy, cisplatin or carboplatin with pemetrexate. One cycle every 21 days for 6 cycles. We have to see progression after in the third cycle of chemotherapy every time. Okay, so this is how to approach a patient of pleural effusion and in especially in young patient. So if you think this is useful to you, please write in comment box so I can make more videos. So thank you with this video. If you really like it, please share with your friends, and if you are not subscribed this channel, please subscribe it. I'll make more videos on this pattern, and see you with next video. Thank you very much.